Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Some experts say that aging begins when the blood stops flowing, that your capillaries shrink, your organs fade, and your body withers. But they're wrong, because before the blood slows, before the blood vessels vanish, something else dies first: your motor units, the connection between your brain and your body, the very command system that keeps you alive. Lose them, and you lose everything. This is the real theory of aging. In the study in the screen, the claim is simple. Other aging theories do not hold up. So, the author proposed that the microcirculatory theory of aging is a much better hallmark that predicts aging. The author claims that when microcirculation starts to fail, waste and carbon dioxide build up in your organs and they stop getting enough oxygen and nutrients. Over time, this damages your tissues and organs, and that's what leads to aging. It sounds convincing, right? Until you ask the most basic questions. Why? Why does microcirculation start to fail? The study says aging is a process of continuous impairment of microcirculation. That's not an answer, that's a description. What causes that impairment? They don't say because they don't know. Here's what they missed. Before your blood flow ever slows, before your capillaries ever shrink, something else starts to disappear quietly, gradually: your motor units. Studies show that motor unit loss begins around the age of 25. You won't feel it, you won't even see it, but it's there. The nervous system is slowly disconnecting from the muscles. Microcirculatory decline doesn't suddenly hit you in your 50s. Early signs like reduced nitric oxide, subtle endothelial changes, that's in the lining of your blood vessels, and increased vascular resistance begin in your 30s, especially in people with hypertension, obesity, and metabolic stress. But for most healthy individuals, significant vascular dysfunction doesn't appear until the 40s or later, after the motor unit loss is already well underway. The researchers who created the microcirculatory theory of aging was only thinking inside the body, looking at blood vessels, tissues, and oxygen levels. But they never stopped to ask, what caused those vessels to stop working in the first place? What made the blood flow slow down? What reduced the body's need for circulation? The answer is not inflammation. That's just another downstream symptom. The real trigger? The loss of motor units. The nerves that make your muscles move. The command system that drives blood flow, keeps you strong, and keeps your tissues alive. Your nervous system fades quietly, starting in your mid-20s. As your motor units vanish, your muscles stop contracting the way they used to, and your blood does not flow the way it used to either. Everything downstream starts to fall apart, including circulation. So no, poor circulation does not cause aging. It's a consequence. And inflammation? That's just the smoke rising from the real fire, and that fire is motor unit loss. Skeletal muscle is the organ containing the highest microvascular mass and is highly adaptable, responding to environmental and physiological demands. In plain English, muscles control microcirculation, not the other way around. That's not just a theory, that's anatomy. Skeletal muscle has the highest microvascular density in human body. And the moment your muscles stop contracting, your circulation begins to collapse. Let's forget the science for a moment. Let's use common sense. When you're 25, you might be eating junk, sleeping late, skipping workouts, getting drunk, partying, and yet your circulation is perfect. Why is that? Because your motor units are still intact. Your muscles still contract. Blood still pumps. Now fast forward to 75. You've lost 50% of your motor units. Your legs feel heavy. Your feet are cold. Your wounds heal slow. That's not just aging. That's a functional collapse in your movement system. And circulation follows that collapse. You lose the signal. You lose the contraction. Then you lose the flow. Skeletal muscle is not just for movement. It's a pump, a second heart. When you move, like walking or running, your muscles act like pumps that help push the blood back to your heart. The veins in your arms and legs have little one-way valves that make sure the blood flows the right direction, upwards, not backwards. Every time your muscles contract, they squeeze those veins and help move the blood to them. This is why movement is so important for good circulation. Your muscles literally help power your blood flow. Now you might say, but isn't blood flow the heart's job? Yes, but not only the heart's. The heart gets the blood to the limbs, but it's the muscles that bring it back. Without muscle contractions, your blood does not return efficiently. It pools and stagnates, and your capillaries collapse. This is exactly why people who are bedridden, paralyzed, or even frail all suffer from poor blood circulation, even if their hearts are healthy, because their muscles and their motor units controlling them are saying bye bye. You're still not convinced that muscles and blood flow are linked? Let me show you a study that proves it beyond a doubt. In this study, researchers measured blood flow and motor unit firing rates in stroke survivors and healthy controls. They found something remarkable. The more blood flow a muscle had, the more motor units fired. The stronger the neural drive, the more blood that followed. They were tightly linked. Now, here's something the study revealed that most people miss. Even in healthy individuals, when motor unit firing drops, blood flow drops also. And when blood flow drops, the muscles fatigue harder. That means this isn't just a stroke problem, it's a universal system. Your nervous system controls your circulation. If your motor units are not firing, even if you're otherwise healthy, your blood does not move efficiently, and your muscles wear out faster. This proves the link. Blood doesn't lead, nerves do. Aging is not about poor circulation, it's about a dying signal, a fading command, and that signal is your motor units. So no, blood flow does not just come from the heart, it follows neuromuscular demand. And when motor units vanish, the signal to circulate disappears with them. So what does the microcirculatory theory really describe? Not a cause, a consequence. The study says data on the impact of aging in skeletal muscle capitalization are variable. You know why the data is variable? Because they're looking at a secondary effect, not the root cause. When muscles stop contracting, capillaries shrink. When motor units die, muscle fibers vanish, and with them the vascular demand that keeps circulation alive. This study shows capillary rarefaction, which means capillary loss, thinning, or breakdown, increases with disuse, inactivity, and age. But what is it that triggers disuse and weakness in the first place? Loss of motor units. You don't lose your youth because your blood stopped flowing. Your blood stops flowing because you lost the force that moved it. Motor units are the gatekeepers of youth. They preserve strength, they maintain movement, and they keep the circulatory system functioning by keeping the muscles alive. As you lose motor units, your muscles become less efficient at moving blood. You need from 7 to 14 times more effort just to get the same blood flow you used to get naturally. Think about this. This is how hard your body has to fight just to stay alive. Scientists, biohackers, longevity startups, they all mean well, but they're chasing symptoms. They inject NAD, they flood the body with blood flow enhancers, they measure skin elasticity, mitochondrial markers, and gene expression, etc. But here's the truth. If you don't preserve motor units, nothing else will matter. Not your blood flow, not your mitochondria, not even your brain. You think circulation comes from the heart alone? Wrong. Your muscles are the second heart, compressing veins with every step, every rep, and every move. No muscle signal, no contraction. No contraction, no pump. No pump, no blood flow. And mitochondria, they're powered by movement, by contraction, by neural demands. Even your brain, it depends on movement. Why? Because when you move, your brain lights up with feedback signals. You stop moving and those signals fade. When your motor units go, the body follows because they are the switchboard, the power grid. And every longevity strategy that ignores them is missing the foundation. This is not a supplement problem. This is a systems collapse, starting at the deepest layer most scientists never even look at. I'm 61. I run, I jump, I explode because I train my motor units, not for looks, not for likes, but for function. If you want to age slowly, if you want to preserve life, energy, and power, don't chase blood flow. Don't chase supplements. Preserve the signal that drives it all. Preserve your motor units. To the scientists who created the microcirculatory theory of aging, you were staring at the end result when you should have been studying the first collapse. It's not the blood that fails first, it's the command that moves it. You want to stop aging? Don't start with the damage, start with the signal. Because the moment that signal dies, the whole system follows. This was not a rebuttal. This was a demonstration. I dissected one theory, circulation, and proved that even it bends to the power of motor units. And I am going to do the same with every hallmark of aging. One by one, they'll crumble under the hands of motor unit integrity because this is not a guessing game. It's not gene hacks or petri dish promises. This is biology maintained. We're not slowing down, we're going beyond the limit. See you soon in my next video, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful day.